Ooh, can you all imagine for a second if Dr. Martin Luther King had social networking, cell phones? Like, can you imagine just how much he would have got done? I'm just thinking now because I want to make sure I'm on time and I don't waste any of you all's time right now because we're all hungry, we got stuff to do. And I'm just thinking this morning, like, wow, what if they had social networking during that time, in that day and age? Like, the fact that they were able to organize that many people for a year, for a bus boycott, and all they did was pass out flyers on the campus and call people. But now we can literally contact anybody across the world. And it seems like it takes us longer. And I think when I give my students that perspective, a lot of times it kind of boggles their mind. It's interesting. And I got to kind of excuse myself too, because when I said doctor, maybe that's a sign for the future. But when Brother Dale Evans contacted me and wanted me to be the MC, I was like, man, MC, you want me to rap? See, I come from a hip-hop generation, and I'm just like, man, I don't really have nothing on my mind right now, brother, but he wanted to be the host. So thank you all for being here today, and to give yourselves a hand for being here this morning. And allow me to set my timer, because, man, I'm a teacher, and yesterday I had an incident where I had a lesson to teach, and lo and behold, I had 10 minutes left in class, and I went on the longest tangent ever, so we have to make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm thinking right now, guys, how as we honor Dr. King, when I was growing up, in hindsight, I feel like I was lied to a lot. And I think I was lied to about two very important things that I should not have been lied about. See, Dr. King is a great man, and we know that. That's why we're here today. We know he was assassinated for what he stood for. But the lie I was told was that Dr. King was dead. See, they told me that this man that we honored every year, maybe not even every year, I feel like every week and what we did, and what we talked about, what we did, the projects, the assemblies, I was told he was dead. And every year when I go to Joliet Central and I volunteer, or I come to an event like this, or especially when I teach at Joliet Central, which is vastly different from the neighborhood I grew up in, and seeing the diversity and the unity and kids sticking together and promoting that camaraderie, I'm like, why did my teachers lie to me? Because when I see that, I realize that he's still alive. And for something to be dead, correct me if I'm wrong, but it has to cease to exist, right? So if you look around this room right now, you see all different types of races, ethnicities, and you'll be reminded that 50, 60 years ago, this is something that would not have been commonplace. Matter of fact, it would have been frowned upon, unfortunately, to look at somebody and see the basic humanity and not the color of their skin. And that's absurd. The second thing I was told about Dr. King, y'all, that just, can't believe they told me this big lie. They told me he was only a dreamer. They said that's all he did. Now, I know how to dream. Like, I can remember in high school and in college, having those early classes, and I caught a lot of Z's and some good dreams. but when I woke up, nothing was ever done. See, to demote Dr. King to only be a dreamer is to say that what he did does not have any effect on us today. He was a dreamer, a visionary, and he put it into action all the time. And that's an amazing thing. So as we stand here today to honor this legacy, we have to realize those two important things. He's never died. He was assassinated, but the revolution continues. And it's very much needed nowadays, as you know. So before we continue, I came across 3 quotes I felt like Dr. King would have probably wanted to say again if he was still alive today, because we know we need him more than ever. But the thing is, his spirit is amplified. So we all have a duty to carry out what he said. So, excuse me. If this makes sense to you, when I finish the first one, just do me a favor and just clap. You know what? No, this is a jazz brunch. So I feel like a real smooth vibe. So y'all can snap your fingers if you want to. So, and number three, Dr. King once said, we must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Number 2, Dr. King once said, our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. And number 1, and if you all look at your program, I think this might resonate with everybody. Number 1, for me, and I think we can all attest to this, that the time is always right to do what is right. So I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Now, you all might not look at yourselves as Dr. King or a civil rights leader, but the thing is, you're all leaders in your respective fields, and we all have a duty and obligation to make sure that that dream continues to be a vision and an action, because he passed the baton to us. So who will we pass the baton to?